Another SEC banger, Texas taking on LSU. Michaela Williams showed up and showed out. Madison Booker was in her bag per usual. These two are the best mid-range assassins in the country. Not to mention they both got a bag. Madison Booker, mid-range pull-up. Let's get it started. The inbound Michaela Williams said, I don't need no dribbles, just pull up. She really sick with it. Her bag is crazy. Lajay tweaked right here, lost the rock. Led to the Texas fast break right before the end of the quarter. Madison Booker hustling down that court, attacking the rim, finishing strong with her left hand. Ties the game at the end of the first. Second quarter, Michaela Williams start getting it going. Get in the lane, step through, that's tough, easy bucket. And she wasn't forcing nothing. She was just letting the game come to ISO. Everybody out the way. I told you, she don't need no dribble. Size you up and pull up right over top. That's tough as hell. Don't nobody do it like MKW. Been off her, now it's time to go to work. Hezzy cross, see you later. Right into the midi pull up. So different with that rock. Don't forget she put up 42 as a freshman. So you know when she get it going, that heat up different. Get downhill, big guard, easy lay. And she was really out there doing it all. Rory Harmon can't knock down the jumper. Kayla Williams grabs the board. And now it's time to turn defense into offense. Pushing down quarter. Nobody stops the ball. So Michaela said, give me 3. Go ahead, get it out the net. Somebody better step up. I know you're thinking, damn, where Madison been at? But she would soon get it going. Tough ass fadeaway. Tell you the midi work that both these players got is insane. You go under the pick, you giving her too much space to get the midi off. That's too easy. Texas was down, but Madison Booker wouldn't let him stay down for long. This time she said, I'm getting all the way to the rim with the left. And 1. She was so tired. I think she scared that ref. Off the inbound, Madison Booker cutting to the rim. Tough finish with the left. And she was far from done. Playing a little patty cake with the rock. Go under. She said, I got 3 for you. Get it out the net. And look, I guess they ain't learned their lesson. Little bump into the chicken wrap. And then they go under the pick again. She said, I'm pulling up again. Get it out the net. Stop playing with her. Man, I'm telling you, Madison Booker was doing everything she could to try to keep Texas alive. Another tough-ass midi pull-up. But it wasn't enough. It was too much LSU and too much Michaela Williams. Shot clock winding down. She said, don't worry about nothing. Go ahead, get it out the net. That's what you call a dagger. The game is over, but Madison said, I got to get one more. But them Tigers came up clutch versus number 2 Texas.
Fellas, what's going down, man?
Wow.
So what was the final score?
Oh man, let me pull it up. I was watching the game, but then they lost. Wow. I was so upset. I turned it off because they lost. Yeah, I know which team I was rooting for.
Oh, yeah, but you know, if Texas is gonna lose, LSU is one of the schools I don't mind them losing to.
But yeah, it was still hard. It was still hard, J-Dub. It was
I feel you.
I almost cried. 70 to 65. It was
Okay.
67, 65.
No, 65 to 7. They lost by 5. Yeah,
burn.
Rory didn't show up. Jordan Lee did okay, and you know, Madison did all she could do without the help of her team. So, but man, Flo J, I just can't think of her name right now. But
Flo J.
What's her girl name? Michaela Williams. Michaela Williams, like it's usually a Flo J show, but Michaela Williams did her thing, and then of course, Flu Wiley, Malaysia Flu Wiley comes off the bench, saying that like she wanted to, but that LSU squad, man, they was up at the top, dropped down to number 12, and now beating up the number 2 is like, man, they're climbing their way back up. So. Hey, what's going on?
And even at the end,
what's going on, brother? Appreciate you for watching.
Even at the end of the season, and thank goodness it's college basketball because we get everybody gets to be invited. And as long as you're in the top 12, 10, 12, you know, you're the contenders, and both of those teams are going to be right there.
Yeah, they're going to be right there. It's going to be all right, but still, you know. When you're a fan of the Big 12, you're a fan of the Big 12.
Every game matters.
Every game matters. Hey, let's go ahead and get started, man. We're here to talk about a little bit of NFL football. Before we get NFL football, we got to talk about a little NBA. I guess some breaking news real quick, man. I just want to say congratulations to James Harden, moves up in the top 10. He's at number 9, passing Shaq in all-time scoring. Wow, this is a Hall of Famer that to me don't look like a Hall of Famer, but he's a Hall of Famer. I can't. J-Dub, take it away. What you think about this?
Bro, you asked me about the one player that I'm conflicted over. I get it. I get it. He scored MVP season, all the threes, he's got a whole bag. I'm not a fan of James Harden. And I'm not happy that he passed a guy I am a fan of.
Right.
Is he a Hall of Famer? Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer in a weird new era of basketball where you can be a Hall of Famer without having any significant playoff success. The only time they even had any significant playoff success, he was the 6th man. Maybe that means something.
Yeah.
But no, congratulations. I think it's come down to in today's day,
hate this game.
Oh, I hate his game. I can't.
Me too. Me too, Big Daddy. Me too.
I think what it comes down to, the scoring leader list has turning into a sign of your longevity.
Facts. So
James has been the same player he's been since he got to the league, right? I'm not a huge James Harden fan, but respect is deserved and given to a player in the top 10 on the scoring list based on your longevity, based on you being able to do it night in, night out. So congrats to him, but man, I hope I hope every season's his last season.
Yeah. And to Big Daddy's comment, we've all heard growing up, don't hate the player, hate the game. Well, in this case,
I hate both.
Might be a little bit of both, depending on who you ask,
Right.
So,
yeah.
But the only thing I would think, just to add to a little something fun, is if Shaq taken as many shots in his career as Harden did and has, Shaq might be the all-time points leader. Who knows? But that's another story for another day, man.
Or stayed in better shape through his career, especially those middle years, after the Miami championship. He's very vocal about telling you he didn't care. He didn't do any off-season training.
Right.
But,
Man, I there was a point that I lived on nothing but James Harden Kool-Aid. There was a point, and I have to because I wanted him so bad to win in Houston. And it just never happened, then watching him travel across the globe, playing for different teams, it just got to a point where it's like, okay, all right, it is what it is now. I'm over it now. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm over it, right?
Well, the guy can ball. I mean,
he can score and travel.
The cat can ball.
The reason why I still do like him, but not as much, because like I say, he don't win championships. He fall in the playoffs, but he made a statement one time when he was asked about load management, and that's the biggest just hate that I have with the NBA, right? He said, hey, I want to hoop. He said, I'm a hooper. That's all I want to do is hoop. So I don't want to sit out no games. I'm like, there you have it. That's the reason to root for the guy, right? Because he just
so for full transparency, I love that. I love that. And I kind of expect all of them to have that same mindset.
Right.
So since my expectations are so high for how they should be, I judge him harshly because I expect all of them to have that mentality.
Right. It's like a captain. I was like, duh, that's what you get paid millions for. You should love to hoop.
man, 82 games a year should be the norm.
I mean, man, you talking about, like I say it, and I'm gonna say it one more time. There are people who do it for free every single day.
Yeah.
All right. The last big breaking news for NBA basketball before we get into NFL is this guy. Anthony Davis, Mr. Glass, is out yet again. We are trying our best to get him a package of guy out of here, and he just keeps messing up this deal.
Yes, he does. Thank you.
Pennies on the dollar. We need to be looking at pennies on the dollar, y'all. Listen, it's whatever you have to give up to not have that contract under your roof. Man, it was a terrible idea from the beginning, and it's just gotten worse every day that's gone by.
Yep.
And obviously, the guy's fighting for not only his position to Mavs, but fighting for his NBA career. The sad part about this guy is that I don't think he intentionally gets hurt. Nobody does, right?
Yeah.
He can't help that his body is folding under pressure, right? Now it's like we're talking about trading you. He already knows that he wants to stay a Mavs. But now with a situation like, bro, your career is on the line because you may get cut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I have to do that. Yeah, and y'all know what time it is. Anthony Davis, coming to the front of the class, sir. I need you to listen to me, sir, and listen to me when. You tall. I can't see that far up. Sit down, sir. I can't see that far up. Sit down. Listen to me. You are Olympian, gold medalist. You are a NBA champion. You owe nothing else to this game. Played with the New Orleans Pelicans, got a chance to play over there in Hollywood. Now you're down here in Texas. It's okay. You are doing the whole NBA a disservice by staying in this league. please talk to your mama, grandmama, aunties, and uncles, your kids and your grandkids, whoever's in your corner. It's time for you to sit down. You will not be able to walk if you keep playing. You're gonna be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. Whenever you retire, retire now so you can save whatever left of those knees and ankles. Now it's a hand injury,
and hand and neck and
out
shoulder.
of all the things, a hand injury, bruh. Anthony Davis, please, from the FairWeather fan, from Coach D-Way, and J-Dub, please sit down. Thank you, sir. I don't even want you to go back to your seat. I want you to exit stage left. So get out of here, sir.
Yeah. Would the real AD please sit down?
Please
sit
leave.
Down. Please sit down. Well said, EC.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that NCW XC. What y'all think about? I think he said it's supposed to be said Mike Tomlin. We're gonna get to that later on. Let's go ahead and jump into NFL because we're done with this. Before we drop into, I want to ask this question: should divisional winners always get home field advantage? Because that's
yes.
Oh, talk about it.
And it always every year we talk about this. Every year, everybody who watches football at all, we talk about this. Okay. There's always a divisional winner who may not be as good as a second place or third place team from another division. But that division changes constantly. That divisional winner usually is exit in the first round, so they only get to host one home game. But if there is no reward for winning your division, then why do we still have divisions? There has, and that is such a minor reward. I know it's home field advantage and it's extra money and it's concession sales and yada, yada, yada for the team. But again, I'm going to say one more time, for the people in the back, if there is no reward for being the best in your divisions, then we shouldn't have divisions. And if we want to make the case for no divisions, then yeah, we can get rid of it. Let's take the 7 best teams and line them up the way they finished the season. But as long as we have them separated, then the best one of this separated group at minimum gets to host a home game.
So let me ask this question, Coach DOA. Based on what J-Dub said, why do we have divisions?
Well, that's why we have divisions, so you can play for that home field advantage, and so they can bracket and put the playoff system in the advantage of the teams that have had the better years. I mean, that's my thoughts on it. And it sells tickets and makes a lot of money for a lot of people, a lot of owners.
And so it helps scheduling too, right? So the Cowboys, you know they're going to play everybody in the NFC East twice. Mm-hmm. So it eliminates brother, I don't know if y'all are numbers people. I'm not necessarily to this extent, but if you have 32 teams and it's completely random, bro, you're going to have some weird schedules. You're going to have some weird conflicts. You're going to have some all over the map. So it helps with logistics as well. Yeah. But there's also some historical value, right? So, why is Dallas in the NFC East? It makes no sense for Dallas to be in the NFC East. They should be in the NFC South. So there's some historical significance to divisions as well that somebody smarter than me is going to have to explain. But no, if you're going to have divisions, we have division winners.
Right. So when you're looking at what you just said, so let's take the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? Came down between them and Baltimore, right? Everybody else in that division was weak, right? So now whether it be Baltimore, but it ended up being Pittsburgh coming to the playoffs because they have to be in that bad north or south, the north. Having to play those teams in that clearly was not prepared to play the rest of the league in the playoffs. Clearly not prepared because obviously they're going to play those teams twice, and that's what happened. I can say the same thing about the Chargers, right? They came second in the division, but then got beat down because the other two games you play are the Kansas City Chiefs and the Oakland or the Las Vegas Raiders. Clearly wasn't ready, So the Jacksonville Jaguars, they played it tough, but we'll get into that later on. But that's what I'm looking at, when it comes down to this. And some would say the same thing with the Eagles, the worst division in football.
Right.
Were they not prepared? We don't know. They play with their food too much. I don't know. But I don't like divisional games, divisional leaders being getting a home field advantage. I don't like it, but that's just me, right? It does have advantages. When you got a situation where all you have to do is win your division, like Carolina, in a bad division, it gives you some type of hope. And that's what we like, right? It creates those Cinderella stories or those underdog stories that people like. So I'll give it that much. And
sometimes hope creates better games. You know, they come out hungrier. If you've had an off season and you're 8-8 going into the final week of this year, but you have to win this game, then you're going to come out more fired up. So if we're looking at a fan version of it, then that game had more meaning. That game had more importance. So that game in theory should be better.
Fact.
So again, bro, I don't think there's any way to get away from that. Right. Because even if you try to say that the division winner automatically gets to the playoffs, but they don't get to host a game, I think that creates more problems than you solve. Right. And every worst division changes season to season.
Right.
Yeah.
I like it. So let's get into divisionals talk right here. Before we do, I got this video I want us to see real quick. So here we go, y'all. Let's jump into this real quick.
Oh my God, I almost died. No. I almost died. That was so scary. Thank you. It's okay. It's okay. No, fuck. All right. Whoa.
What are you smiling about?
Dude, I almost had you.
Saquon up the middle. A.J. Brown deep ball. Incomplete.
You're a fraud, Spider-Man!
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
I love the young people.
Oh my God.
Built to ass, son.
Oh man, let's get it back. Oh, did D-Wade drop out?
Oh, we losing people, technical difficulties.
Yeah, you dropped me out.
My bad, brother. Here we go. So yeah.
Hey, put your hand down. You smiling.
What do you say? I'm with J-Dub. There should be a benefit for showing up. Yes, we do not have NFL teams in DFW. That should mean we should not reward excellence. We do not have a team in. We do not have an NFL team. And then what?
Little confused. All that matters was he agreed with J-Dub. Let's move on from that.
We don't have a team in the DFW. Wow.
Crazy, man.
I tell you, the funniest part about that video was old boy talking about the Rams barely winning but we almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Rams barely squeaks one out, man. That is crazy. With that being said, Rams barely survived the Panthers. What should we expect from these Rams versus the Bears? You know, the Rams has been on this, and a lot of teams been doing it, playing with their food with these last couple of games. They lost some key games down the stretch, games they should have won, and now here on they first playoff game. You know, obviously they didn't have home field advantage. Once again, a higher ranked team. Well, no, they was kind of equal. So Bears deserved their home field advantage, but they barely won. I mean, not to be the Panthers, but they barely won. So, you know.
So that was a weird deal because it was a 10-point spread.
Yeah.
Everybody in the world knew the Rams were going to win. The Rams went in there very, very complacent. They didn't go in there with the focus that they normally go in there, and they're fortunate that they got out of there with a W. And I think that the way that game went for them might be the best thing that could have happened to them for the rest of the playoffs. So I'm excited to see what the Rams do moving forward these next couple of weeks.
Yo, Andrew Jason, man, IAG, man, thank you for the subscription, bro. I really, really appreciate the love and support, man. What up, Bob Levinsky?
Didn't think we'd see him tonight. I thought he'd still be in mourning.
The Rams made too many mistakes. They got lucky because they were playing a bad team. You agree with that, J-Dub?
Yeah, and there's also something to that effect, you know, for anybody who played any level of sports, even Pee-wee, you know, the clipboard wall when you're not supposed to win and everybody's overlooking you and you come. I mean, these are professional athletes. These are grown men. And I'll eat some crow. I said the Rams would win by at least 10, I said, if not more. So I think a lot of people are hard on the Rams or on the Panthers because, I mean, I think they're putting all the pieces together. Of course, they had a bad division. They had an off year, but I think this is a team on the rise. I hope that's right. I like watching Bryce. I think Coach said it best. I think the Rams came in there cocky and confident and forgot they needed to play a game against grown NFL players.
Yeah.
So I think that Puka drop that would have been a touchdown. How often does that happen? That never happens. Was that in the third quarter? Somebody please correct me. Everybody knows which play I'm talking about. And if he makes that play, then all of a sudden they're up 4 and they, the momentum is swinging, but he drops it. So the momentum stays stagnant. But again, hats off to the Panthers. They did their best at home and the crowd was into it. So, but I also think like what Coach said, I think this is a wake up call for the Rams. I think we've all said multiple times that Matthew Stafford is, he's going to go down as one of the greatest. I don't know where you put him, top 20, top 10, top 5. I don't care. But he's going to take his lessons from this to not overestimate, to come out a little more sharp, to come out a little more hungry. And I mean, the Rams are my NFC team I'm rooting for, right? I know we're going to get into that later, but they're the team I'm rooting for. So hopefully it's a wake-up call that we needed to get them to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. Yeah. Andrew Jason. Yes, sir. Please ask us a question. Whatever you want, man. Throw it in the feed, brother. Yeah, ask us a question, man. This show is for you. Get involved. Matter of fact, make me just say it, because I didn't say it earlier. This is the FairWeather Fan channel, man. Please like, subscribe, leave comments, because I want you to join this conversation. That means Andrew Jason, that is for you. Go ahead and join this conversation and leave us a comment. With that being said, listen, Brandon, what's up, B. Marshall? So you should expect the Rams to go up early and Caleb to come back again is no longer a fluke. He has done it 8 times this season. Yes, sir. Lewis Medford said, I would not call Carolina Panthers a bad team. They have played every team that faced hard. As a matter of fact, the Panthers will be a better team next year and will be a hard outcome to playoffs. Yeah, they are good. They are coming. D-Way, what were you saying?
No, I mean what Lou said. I mean I'm 100%. Panthers got to go. Panthers are moving the stick in the right direction. Shout out to B. Marshall. He and I have talked at length about the Bears. Yeah. He not on agree on everything on the Bears. I think the Bears. I think they're done. I mean they did something crazy this last week and came back from however how many points it was down and. There's a lot of emotion, a lot of energy, a lot of mental and physical and exhaustion that comes with doing that. If they can do it again, I'll be the first one to stand up and go, hey, they're the real deal. But I fully expect the Rams to win that game. So, yeah. DC, about you?
Yeah.
J-Dub?
Go ahead, J-Dub.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I hope that happens, man. But Soldier Field is one of the only places where home field advantage is a big deal, right? Those fans are crazy. Yep. So, I'm gonna be rooting for the Rams. I wish the Bears and the Rams could have met in the NFC Championship, but if it were a fifth, we'd all be drunk. The Rams should come out hot, but. The Bears have proved to be better at the war of attrition, right? If you keep them in it and third and fourth quarters, those tackles start hurting a little more. Those blocks start hurting a little more. So they like to play violent, and I like that.
And we don't know what the weather's going to be like, but the nastier, the more brutal the weather is, that really, really plays in favor of Chicago and really, really plays against the Rams.
Definitely.
So that's going to be interesting.
Now, speaking of the Bears, this 18-point comeback versus the Packers, what's the biggest story? The Bears' resilience or the Packers' fold?
Number 2.
Wow.
Okay, that's the biggest story.
And so the Packers folded, right? Jordan Love looked like he didn't know what he was doing. I don't understand what Josh Jacobs happened this year to him in general based on his trajectory, but The Bears folded, but I'm not sitting here saying that the Packers folded, but I'm not sitting here saying that the Bears didn't make them fold.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you know, it's easy to be fast and efficient and on point in the first and second quarter, but you know, after the seventh time you've been tackled and after, you know, everybody keeps getting hit, the Bears are tough. The Bears are probably, you know, I'm gonna say with my Texans, but they're probably the second toughest team in the playoffs in terms of just pure physical brutality.
Okay. I can't disagree with that.
Yeah.
So
Let's see here.
When are you guys going live next?
Who's asking?
We're entertaining. I love it. Ding, ding. That's a championship for me right there.
I don't. Hey, I guess he want to come on live and ask us questions. I haven't done this before, but I'm going to ahead and try it out. Andrew, if you can follow that link on your phone, that should get you into the live feed. So just let me know. Yeah, if it works tonight, that's the only way I can get you in by
Terrible play calling. Yeah,
so we'll try it out. Bob, who is a resident Bears fan, regarding the Bears, they will not win against any team that plays pedal to the metal for 4 quarters. Any team where the kicker does his job. Now, D-Way, does that butt hurt for Bob, or is that truth? I like it, Bob, but
I'm just trying to figure out because you know he's got something. He's got a mystery something in that garage of his. He won't let anybody go in there, and he won't open the garage door. Parks his cars outside. There's something hidden in his garage. I'm just wondering if it's that Green Bay Packer truck that he's so proud of. He's been showing all over social media. So, but I think it's a combination of both. I think Green Bay came out hot because, you know, you would expect them to, being the visiting team and Jordan Love coming back after being gone for a couple of weeks. But once the Bears settled in, once they got, as Brandon says, locked in, says Bob is a Packer fan, so his opinion doesn't count. Okay. Well, every terrible play calling by Green Bay to start the second half. Okay. But I still doesn't answer the question if that's your pickup truck in that garage or not. But 15 degrees in Chicago on game day this week. Okay. So I think the Bears just got settled in, and Packers just kind of got complacent, and the Bears fans got into it. Like Jay said, it's a hard place to play, and the fans started getting into it, and the players started thinking, "Hey, we might can do something here if we keep this bus going." So it is what it is. Those are two teams that have been playing for hundreds of years, the Bears and the Packers. So what do I know? But yeah, that's good stuff.
All right. Let's move on to 49ers and the Eagles. The Eagles' luck has finally ran out. J-Dub, we have been expecting the Eagles to implode. AJ not catching passes. Is this the beginning of the end, or is this the end of the Eagles?
Man, that's a tough question. That's a good question. I know they just fired their offensive coordinator again, which
you should, you know what I'm saying?
You should, especially since you went away from what won you the Super Bowl the year before, and your offense. I mean, you got one of the best. You got the best or one of the best running backs in the NFL. So, man, that's the game I didn't get to see a lot of other than the highlights. And I think more importantly than the Eagles folding, or whether it's the end of the Eagles, is for us to talk about what San Francisco has done with a medical center roster this season, including this last game. And now George Kittle's gone. I think that game, from what little I've seen about it, and I apologize, I didn't get to watch that game. It was more the 49ers being better than the Eagles imploding in that particular game.
Yeah, and Mr. Big 06 Daddy, yeah, you're right. AJ had several words with the head coach, and they had issues on the sideline, which is a distraction in those kind of games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a huge distraction, and I'm with Big Daddy. AJ, it's time for AJ to go. He's not doing his job. You got to do your job. He's not doing his job, and when they need him. So,
So is there any benefit of doubt that you would give either him or the coach in this situation, J-Dub or D-Way? Any benefit of doubt? This is a playoff game. Competition breeds aggression. People getting their feelings. Talk about it.
Well, go ahead, Jay.
No, you go ahead. I think that is, again, like he said, it's a distraction. It doesn't help. You arguing with the coach, whether you're right or wrong, whether I agree with AJ or not, it doesn't help anything. It actually hurts everything. So, man, there's a time and place. And I'm not sitting here saying that every player should do what every coach says, blah, 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 blah. I'm not that guy. But you can't do it on the sideline. You can't do it on the sideline, especially when you're still in the game. You still have a chance, right? 100%. It might be slipping away, but it was bad timing, and in that regard, I would blame AJ in that regard.
Yeah. And guys, here's the deal. Jay, I know you didn't see the game. It doesn't matter. You can talk about this subject. Guys, the Eagles have not been special or impressive this entire 17, 18 game season. Okay. They've been good. But they haven't been, oh my gosh. Nobody can beat these guys. You know, they're defending Super Bowl champions, and they're acting like it, and they're taking no prisoners. I didn't see that Eagles team. I didn't see that mentality. I didn't see that attitude. I didn't see that nasty, intense, we're going to get you down and put our foot on your throat and listen to you squeal and laugh at you. I didn't see that this year from the Eagles, Jay. So talk to me.
No, I agree. And this is the time of year that you have to have that mentality. And I know they lost some bad games. This year they lost to the Giants late in the season, but they also lost some of their losses versus good teams, but they just never looked like they had an identity.
Right.
True that. And even B. Marshall he's been telling me that the 49ers are going to beat the Eagles up there. And I went, man, I hope you're right. And if I can just one time, check this out.
Yeah.
If I can just one time hear J-Dub on live podcast, FairWeather fans say, that beat up Band-Aid unit, somebody up over there in the Golden Gate area, the Bay Area is doing a hell of a job coaching that bunch over there. I just wish I could hear it. I just want to hear it come out of that dirty mouth of his just one time.
Oh, I tell him all the time. Kyle Shanahan is one of my favorite coaches. I'm not tripping on that. I'm just talking about I'm just not a 49ers fan. And as much as a fan I am of Kyle, I'm not gonna start rooting for the Niners just because of the head coach. That doesn't make any sense.
No, agree. Hey, you see,
yeah.
Kyle's done a great job this year with that beat up bunch he's had.
Look at bleed red and gold. I hear you.
Hey, what up, bro? What up? Hey, we talking about your team, man. If you got anything to add, man, join in the conversation, brother, about your 49ers beating up on those Eagles.
That almost looks like Dak. That almost looks like Dak in that hunt, man. Tell me it's not. Y'all put it back up there. Tell me it's not Dak Prescott.
That ain't Dak Prescott. That's bleed red gold.
And I said it and I say it again. If you had to take a robot and you had to build a robot football player for the NFL,
yeah,
you try to assemble that robot something in the same category as Christian McCaffrey. give him about 3 inches.
Yeah, I did.
C-Mac's got it going on, man.
So let me say, I don't an unpopular opinion. I don't think that the Eagles should dissect this team, for lack of better words. I know that's what everybody's saying, but once again, it's a narrative I believe that's created by the media. I think this is one of those things that if the team ever decides they're going to win together, these are those type of situations that say, listen, we see what we do good and we see what we do bad and we see what we do extremely bad. This was a bad playoff game for them, right? After being Super Bowl champs, you get knocked out in the first round. You played with your food too long. Your scheme didn't work. It got you all the way to the Super Bowl and you won, and you tried to run the table with it again this year. Yeah. Every team is coming for you. Every team has gotten better, and it didn't work. You have all season to fix it. I would love to see this team. The running game wasn't what it was this year like it was last year. You got a lot of things to fix, and I want to see this team. I want to see A.J. Brown do good. I want to see Saquon do good. I want to see Jalen Hurts continue to do good. But this year, so this is going to be what, the third or fourth offensive coordinator that Jalen Hurts gets to have. He ain't had a consistent offensive coordinator since he's been there. So, this is where they are.
But they are like the Cowboys on defensive coordinators. The Cowboys have had like 5 different defensive coordinators in 5 years.
Yeah.
The Eagles I saw today are, I think, working on 5 OCs in 5 years. So,
facts.
So cool stuff.
All right, then let's jump on over to the AFC because this is where it all gets thick. Jacksonville good Jaguars. They lost to the Buffalo Bills. Which is it a good season versus an early playoff exit, or how do we look at the Jaguars? They've been to the playoffs before. The last time they had a good playoff run when they came back from behind and beat up on the Chargers when that big turnaround game. Since then, they haven't really done much. Now they had a great season, but an early exit. Like, what can we build on? Is it more, hey, same old Jacksonville, same old sunshine, not getting it done, or man, this was a great season for them? How do we look at it?
Jay, go ahead and tell them what you told me.
Brother, I talk so much, I don't remember what I told you, but so let me just start fresh. Jacksonville, they sold me a little bit. They played a tough game. I think this game that I saw, again, I'm going to take the easy route out since I get to go first. This was Josh Allen. This was Josh doing big things when big things needed to be done. Like, not just any team would have made that happen, or not just any player would have made that happen. So he's adding to his resume, and it's crazy. That was his first game-winning drive in the playoffs, which I find fascinating. So, I mean, as a long time Sunshine non-fan, let me say that I'm not a hater. I don't want to be a hater, but as a non-fan, I'm not sold. But man, that they played a good game. I've become a big fan this year of E10 Jr. Am I saying that right? I like how he runs. He runs aggressive. But you know, I'm not upset that Jacksonville lost, and we get to see Buffalo possibly move on and keep going. So I think this was Josh being Josh and doing the things that he needs to do to have the respect that we all give him already.
DC, I thought that Jacksonville had a hell of a great year.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've got a lot to build on.
Mm-hmm.
I think that everything's in the right. That train's going in the right direction. I think they're just going to get better. And didn't Travis get hurt, Hunter? Did he not finish the year?
Yeah, he didn't finish
early in the year.
Yeah, hopefully
I heard in practice.
Get some more weight on him and get him a little stronger. Jacksonville's got so many things to build on. So yeah, it was a great year for them. Y'all know, J-Dub and I were talking about this earlier this week. EC, did you know that? Now, just think about what I'm getting ready to say. That was the first away playoff game that the Bills have won as a visitor since 1972. They haven't won a game, a playoff game on the road. Let me say it that way. The Buffalo Bills have not won a playoff game on the road since 1972. Dude, that's wild.
Yeah.
So kudos to Buffalo for getting it done. Kudos for Josh Allen for being Josh Allen. And I'm hoping, for selfish reasons, we get to see a Matt Stafford, Josh Allen grand finale. But we'll see. There's a lot of football left to play for that.
And I tell you, man, I love how analysts and all these people, they bring out stats.
Yeah.
In 1972, Josh Allen wasn't even born. So heck, I wasn't born in 1972. Yeah. So it's like, man, but you gotta think about coming to Josh Allen and tell him that before the game. He said, I wouldn't even hell. Like, what? Why would you put that in my brain at the start of a home game?
He'd probably be like, man.
Right.
And to add on to that, so I thought Jacksonville was growing, what was it, 2 or 3 seasons ago, where they won a playoff game and they lost in the next round, and then they had a good season next year. What happened last year? I think they only won like 4 or 5 games, and then you're right back to winning the AFC South. So for that franchise, hopefully this is the trend, and last year was a fluke.
Yeah, Ian Cohen has got them guys playing great football, and you know they had an interview with him. They had an interview with Sunshine Trevor Lawrence, man, And Trevor talked about how things are finally clicking, not in the sense of him clicking as a professional NFL quarterback, but just the things that he want to do on the football field. The chemistry is now finally getting there between him and his teammates, right?
Yep.
He got a coach that has developed a system that really fits his way of playing. And they done it this year. So, man, if they can continue whatever they got going, to continue the momentum, I think this Jacksonville Jaguar team is going to be the team to beat, or at least be one of those contenders. Now, speaking of the Buffalo Bills, man, we got to give them credit, man. Big Daddy, Sean say, if Josh Allen doesn't get the ring this year, I don't want to hear his name anymore. All of the other top quarterback in the leagues are out.
Come on, Franco.
It's put up or shut up time. Whoa, boy,
easy.
Sean is not holding back.
Franco, easy on my boy now. Come on. That's Superman, man. He's going to go in that telephone booth and rip up that so you can see that cape come on, man, with that big S on his chest. So, yeah.
And it's crazy because there's nothing but young quarterbacks in his way. That's the crazy part about all of this, you know.
Well, and if he does it, I know we're going to keep going, and let's just for a second assume that the best defenses win. He's going through the three best defenses in the NFL: the Broncos, the Texans, and if the Seahawks get there.
Come on, Jay. Come on, Jay.
Yeah. He doesn't have no quarterbacks to go against, but he's got some defensive squads that are ready to tear his head off if they get the opportunity.
There's so many
but you know how they're
defenses.
going to spin the narrative, right? Lamar is out, Patrick Mahomes out.
Mm-hmm. That's right. No, and I agree with it.
I agree. Drake made or CJ Stroud or all, you know, you let them beat you. It's like,
most people aren't even going to remember that 5 years from now, though. All they remember if Josh got it done or not, you know?
That's right.
Yeah.
Facts. All right. Where we are right now. Okay, why can't Herbert win a playoff game? Is he the issue or is it the team around him? This guy is constantly being rated higher than some of our favorite quarterbacks. Now I would say his name. He's constantly being rated higher than Dak Prescott. And I don't agree with that at all. But like the way they marginalized and got a microscope on Dak Prescott, the way they have a microscope on Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson not winning the big, no one ever talks about Justin Herbert and the expectation that he's supposed to have. Go ahead, DJ Dub.
I talk about him. I don't know where these damn expectations came from. But that wasn't Josh. That wasn't his fault. It wasn't Herbert's fault last game. If your line gives up 6 sacks in a playoff game, then you need a whole new line. And I think I saw something go by at some point in time that like 4 of their linemen are ranked in like the bottom 5 of their position in the NFL. So that's a personnel problem. I mean, as hard as I am on Herbert and not a fan, man, if you can't stay upright in January, then your team is not going to advance. Bottom line.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you can say about that.
And on the road, so it's already hostile. It's already, not an easy place to play. And again, 6 sacks in a playoff game for a quarterback, that's just too much. The last time, I mean, I'm not even sure. Somebody fact check it. Did Joe Burrow get sacked that many times when they went to the Super Bowl? And they were giving up sacks constantly.
Right. And the fact that, he didn't turn the ball over. When you start looking at games like this, quarterbacks usually tried to do too much, but he still held on the ball. He still controlled it. And it just didn't work out for him. Big Daddy said, I think he was
They beat him down. And eventually, after you've been sacked 4 times, and some of them look hard, you're like, now you're hearing footsteps. And now there ain't nobody there, and you're trying to get rid of the ball too fast. And y'all have heard me say this a million times, and I will go to my grave. It starts and ends in the trench.
I can hear Sean saying this right now with his soft voice, but have a little bit of aggression. I think he's overrated. He started off hard, then the love teddy bear comes out. But I actually felt sorry for him against the Patriots. They beat him down. I heard that, boy. Somebody go stop that. Oh, what's going on, bro? He said, their O-line suck. Yeah, we're speaking of the Los Angeles Chargers. The O-line suck, man. But when are we going to start holding this guy accountable is the question. Because we said the same thing about, you talking about when people tried to defend the Buffalo Bills and say, hey, they have nobody to throw it to. We was talking about Lamar Jackson. His defense was giving up a lot of stuff. Their defense to come to play. But what about Justin Herbert? Like, what are we saying now? Because we all believe he's overrated, but he's rated for a reason. But when this type of stuff happens, nobody calls it out. Even after that big, few years ago when they gave us that big lead to the Jacksonville Jaguars, that was swept up under the rug. Until now, people will start questioning now, but don't bring that up now. That was a few years ago. What are we saying about this year? Like, is this team fool's gold?
My thought is, you mentioned Dak. I mean, me personally, I think Dak's better than Justin. But is Herbert in the same? And this is a question: is Herbert in the same classification as Sunshine?
I don't know, because Sunshine's not rated in the top 10. Justin Herbert is constantly year after year rated in the top 10, and I think he comes around between 7 or 8.
That's because they're trying to. It's because they don't want to hear Jim Harbaugh be crying. So we know Jim's a whiny, but I've really tried to get behind Justin, and just every time I do, he just lets me down. He doesn't do what I think, and I think Trevor Lawrence had a great year, and I'm looking forward to see what he and that team do next year, as we said earlier in the show. So,
I thought when Ladd McConkey got there as a rookie last year, I couldn't wait to see the season, and he had a decent season, not a Pro Bowl season, not a first team season, but he had a decent season. But I don't know. Is Ladd McConkey, was he full goals last year to this year? I don't know. Is it the sophomore slump? I don't know. But at the end of the day, this is the same old Los Angeles Chargers team we see all the time. So I don't know if it's the team or is the quarterback, but just like everybody else, when a team don't succeed, the quarterback is held accountable. And it's time for us to hold this guy accountable.
Only the shadow knows. Only the
shadow knows. All right. We got CJ Stroud. Can Stroud continue his magic as the Texans face tougher competition? Obviously, the Steelers were who they were, or this was just a strong start. Like, can he really, really figure it out and push himself all the way to,
Are we calling CJ Stroud's game a strong start? Is that the statement you just made?
Yeah.
That's probably one of the worst games of a winning quarterback we have ever seen. And I am a huge CJ Stroud fan. Couldn't be rooting more for him. Missed at least 3 open passes that would have been for 20, 25 yards.
Yeah.
Had 2 fumbles that were 1,000% his fault. Another one was the center's fault. But like you said about Herbert, we're going to hold the quarterback accountable. So that's your fault for not having your line and your center on the same page. No, the Texans cannot beat better opponents if he has the same type of game that he had last night. However, that Texans D is going to keep them in every single game they play.
Yeah.
They played without a thank you, Z. CJ Stroud, and I'm a huge fan, but he cannot do that again. He can't do that in Foxborough for sure. I mean, because it's a younger quarterback. It's they're gonna score more points. They're gonna move the ball a little bit better. But when you got fire and ice on each end of the defensive line, I mean, when your secondary wants to tackle running backs, when y'all are firing on all cylinders, that defense is gonna keep them in the game, and all CJ has to do is not lose the game.
Right. So the one thing about this Houston Texans, like you said, because their defense good, this is what they've been doing all season long. They ain't always connected on passes. They always mess up some plays. They always have some bad possession that was just like, what were you guys thinking? What was the play calling like? But because their defense is so tough, they always get extra opportunities that other teams don't get because their defense is going to get the ball back. Because we're talking about a bad performance, but he had 250 yards. He went 21 for 32. That's a pretty good thing. And then the running game came out with 164 rushing yards. This was a complete. And then I ain't talking about the defense, doing their thing. So, 30 burger, we saw most of that came in the late fourth quarter where they just were just killing the Steelers at that point. But on paper, this looks good. Now, the eye test suggests something different, right? So the eye test versus paper, what we saw and what he actually did, does that weigh going to the next round?
No. Oh, wait, for CJ himself?
Yeah.
No, he's got to be better. If he plays that way from this point forward, They will not go as far as I hope they will go. They will not go as far as people expect them to go. It's one thing to do something all season and expect your defense to be able to save you. This is it's the second season. These are the best 14 teams. Now we're down to the best 8 teams. So he can't do that again. It will not end that way again. The defense can only stop him so many times. But just like I was telling Coach earlier, man, my favorite thing about Willie Anderson is that he has made a statement multiple times. He wishes he could play all 60 minutes. He wishes he was on defense for the entire game. And I wish every single player on my defense had that same mentality.
Exactly, Z, man. If you watched the show last week, I ranked him in my top 5. No, I ranked him at top 5 or top 6. I can't forget, but he was up there, definitely in the top 10 coaches in the NFL right now. Sean said the Texans will be a tough out. Hopefully, Nico Collins gets back because they're gonna need him. And it's still
he's in full concussion protocol, and usually they can't get back within a week in full concussion. If y'all notice, the first thing I look at when they and other people have taught me is when they hit their head. If their hands come immediately to their head, then that's the first sign of at least one that's going to keep them out a week. So hopefully they win and they get him back for the AFC Championship. That's a possibility, but I doubt very seriously he'll play this weekend at all.
However, this is not the first time Nico Collins went out and they kept winning without him. So next man up down in Houston. So
here's the question.
Yes, sir.
Here's a question about CJ Stroud for you guys, for everybody, viewers. Can he play the level he has to play at to get it done? I'm going to answer the question for. I don't think he can play at the level he needs to play at to get it done. Talk about playoffs now. So
right.
Go ahead.
I think that so when I'm looking at all these remaining teams that's in the playoffs right now, let me pull it up. The playoff bracket. So you start in their division. It's just in their division alone. We're talking about Bo Nix, Josh Allen, talking about Drake May, that are left in that division. You know, other than Josh Allen, Bo Nix and Drake May are younger players, right? And so I think that he can play better than them, right? Because obviously these guys, Bo Nix and Drake May, it's about the coaching for them, right? These guys do special things, but it's because the coaching is putting them guys in the places to win. Josh Allen is Superman. He can turn it on, turn it off, hope the angles get better because we're going to probably need more rushing yards out of him, especially as he faces tougher defenses, right? Yeah. But I think CJ Stroud, he's a guy who can put it on the gridiron too and take off and do some things, right? He just has to want to. That's the part I don't understand because there was a couple of times in those games where he could have took off, but he chose to stay in the pocket and try to force the pass, right? And say force a couple of turnovers. So, that's just my thing. Did he turn the ball over that game?
But to your point, though, he can force some things because he knows he's got these monsters coming on the field.
Right.
So CJ doesn't have to beat Bo Nix. CJ doesn't have to beat Josh Allen. CJ don't have to beat any of these quarterbacks. CJ has to not lose the game and let my dogs on the other side of the ball win the game for me.
Yeah, he had 5 fumbles. Dropped the ball 5 times and
he fumbled twice on the same play. That was terrible.
And then it threw that. So he gave the ball away 3 times. So that's because of that defense. So like I said, getting out of the pocket and being able to run. This is what X's and O's about. This is what D'Amico Ryan got to ask himself. He got to come up and say, "Hey, man, we got to change some things." Because now, if we're gonna call him a top 5 coach, right? He has to be a top 5 coach in the playoffs. Because now you're going up against the Sean Paytons, the Sean McDermott's of the world. You know what I'm saying? You're coming up against some really, really tough competition. So, and you're a young coach, right? And you don't get the chance to say timeout. Like, this is it. Everything is hidden. Playoff is here now. You ain't hiding up under your division now. You playing against the best of the conference. So, this is where it's going to tough out. So, I believe he can get it done, Coach.
Okay.
But I'm believing him ain't going to do enough. He don't believe it.
Yeah, that's right.
He got to believe it, right?
Yeah. I'm a big fan of CJ Stroud. He's a very strong Christian man.
Yeah.
Follower of God. And he professes and claims that. And I want to see him be good and be so successful and love to see him go in there and get one from New England. But so I hope he can. I hope he can get it done. So
All right, y'all. So out of the wild card winners of last week, which team is the most dangerous? You had the Texans was a wild card, the Bills was a wild card, the Rams was a wild card, and the 49ers were a wild card. Which of these teams are the most dangerous in the next round?
Next round.
So
next round. The Bills.
I don't think I'd say the Rams.
Dangerous. What does dangerous mean? Means they're supposed to win a game they're not supposed to win?
Which means that
of those four guys, who would you not want to play?
If I'm the Broncos, I'm upset that the Bills are on my side of the bracket. I guess that's the only way I can say it, because I think all four games are going to be good games, good matchups, teams that have good strategies against the other team, how they play. So, but the
Bills, let's do it this way. You already said so. Bills versus Broncos. So you think the Broncos are in trouble?
I think the Broncos are in trouble just because of the Broncos secondary is filled with holes. It's Swiss cheese. Now, if the line can keep that D line, the Broncos D line is probably best in the NFL. If the line, if Josh's protection can keep him from running for his life on most of the plays, I think he's going to chop up that secondary.
Are the Texans a threat to the Patriots?
Yes.
Ooh, defense. Okay. All right, the 49ers and the Seahawks. The 49ers are what? Seahawks are 7.5. Spread is 7.5 for Seahawks.
So they played the last game of the year in San Francisco when San Francisco was beat up and chopped up, Band-Aid up, bandaged up. And Seattle kind of had their way with them. So that's going to be a really good football game.
The 7.5 point spread.
I can't believe it's 7.5.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy. For the 49ers? Yeah. That's so. Well, somebody's not drinking the 49ers Kool-Aid in Vegas. Man.
Exactly.
I don't know. The Rams and the Bears, the Bears, they're a lucky team. Going all the way back to Bob's comments saying that the Bears is not, they're going to play a team that's going to play, pedal to the metal the whole game. Is the Rams going to come out and play, or are they going to be like all the other teams that the Bears face? They don't come and play the second half.
And if the Rams win, are we calling that an upset? Is that the consensus?
No, because only 3.5 point spread for the Rams, so I wouldn't call that an upset at all.
And they won one more game than the Bears did in the regular season. So this comes back to the division argument, right?
Huh? Yeah, the Rams are favored by 3.5.
So that can't be. I mean, it's dangerous because the Rams are obviously slated to win the game over the home team, but that's where the whole division, to go back to our other conversation, this is where the whole division winner higher seed thing starts taking precedence. Is why, if you're saying which wild card team is most dangerous next round, well, the Rams, I guess by default, I should have said the Rams because they're the better team. They were better all season. They've been better, for a couple seasons. So it should be the Bears. Are they dangerous enough to beat the Rams? Right. So this is where seeding starts getting tricky and dicey. So, but again, I think all four games are should be a toss up. I mean, I think all four games should be good. They should be close. They should be competitive.
So I would say this. I would say all the above are dangerous, right? But the one team I'm looking at as far as being the most dangerous is the 49ers, only because the point spread is so high. 7.5 versus Seahawks. I am not believing that at all. I don't think the Seahawks can beat the 49ers to be truthful.
And rewind the hands of time, one full year. We saw what Sam Darnold did in the playoffs last year, and I'm not trying to put no juju on him or nothing crazy because I'd like to see him be successful, but he crumbled under pressure the last week of the season last year and the first week of the playoffs. So this is his first game back from those dismal disappointments. So let's see what he does.
Hey guys.
Yes, sir.
I'm not a fan. I don't root for him. But guys, Seattle is good. I mean, they are good. Their defense is good. Man, they're good. So interesting. So
who's their coach with Mike McDonald over there? That's their coach. Yeah, Mike McDonald. So you got to believe in him. You got to believe him. I think he did a better job with coaching Sam Darnold than the Minnesota coach Kevin O'Donnell. So I think he done a better job with that. We saw what he was able to do with Geno. He let Geno Smith walk for nothing, and then believed in Sam Darnold. So I mean, yeah, this team is playing better. So I don't care what nobody say. That Jackson Smith the Jigba is the best goddamn receiver in the league. Y'all quit acting like the other players that he is the coldest receiver in the league.
He just said it. He
just this year. We can't say it in
just
history,
this
but
this year.
You got to give it to him.
And with Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet in the backfield, I mean, they got attacked, so you can't stack 8 in the box on every play, and you have to give Sam Darnold a chance every once in a while. And I'm actually, obviously based on everything I've said, I'm rooting for Seattle. Let's go Seattle. That was the name of my son's team this year. That's the closest team I have up here right now. So let's go Seahawks.
Yeah. And last but not least, man, the last topic of the day is what the whole world is in shock. After 19 seasons, Mike Tomlin has stepped down as the Steelers head coach. If this is what we all predicted for Mike Tomlin to end his career, for him to step down, or were we all expecting him to get fired?
The Rooney families, they do things right, and they're class act, and
facts.
And I'm sure there was a conversation weeks ago about the direction they want to go, and some new energy, new blood, new face, new culture.
Facts.
So it doesn't matter. Tomlin, Hall of Famer. Tomlin probably already has a job if he wants one.
Yeah.
But it was time. It was definitely time for him and Harbaugh to go a different direction.
What you got, J-Dub?
So, I agree. So for me, my age, in my 40s, for coaches I've seen, I can't include, Tom Landry and Vince Lombardi, right? I get it. They're the greats. Mike Tomlin's on a short list of the best coaches that I've got to see of all sports, period. Right. He's top 5, 6 at worst. In football, he's top 3. He's probably my number 1 head coach of my lifetime, truthfully.
Yeah.
However,
love it.
No losing seasons. He's kept them relevant. He's kept them in the game. He controls his locker room to a T. How long do you just want to? He has pieced together a ship that's missing parts. Okay, they're missing parts. They haven't had a quarterback. I mean, a consistent quarterback in 10 years since Roethlisberger. I don't know when he retired off the top of my head, but it was time for a change. It was time for a personnel change. I'm glad he stepped down and that they didn't fire him. I think that looks a lot better. He knew it was time. He knew that this season there was a lot on the line, but I mean, I can sit here and talk for the rest of the evening about the respect and the love I have for Mike Tomlin, and I'm not even a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So there's nothing negative to say, but just like Coach said, just like Big Daddy O said, it was time for a change in Pittsburgh. They need to struggle for a few years. They're staying lukewarm. They're staying lukewarm for the last handful of seasons. It's time for them to go down to the bottom and get some first picks and try to find a new quarterback and build again. Cam Hayward is at the end of his career. TJ Watt is overpriced for the team they have, where he can be a game changer for another team. Why do we have this expensive pass rusher when we're not really even in games? So it's time for a change. It's time for change, but that does nothing to say the lack of that it has anything to do with Tomlin. It was just time for an environment change in general.
Yeah.
I would say this. Of course, I'm going to be a parrot of what you guys already said, but I knew this when this talk started years ago. I've heard people just get so hard on Pittsburgh. Ryan Clark was one of them, talking about there need to be a coaching change in Pittsburgh. I actually had the privilege of running to a diehard Pittsburgh fan one time when I was out of town because I had a Pittsburgh hat on. They went with the colors I had on, so I would, and that sparked the conversation. And he was up to hear to Mike. Like, man, I love Mike Tomlin, but man, mediocrity isn't the goal, right? We got to win some games. And I sat there and told that guy, I said, man, I appreciate you for being a fan. He was older than I. I say I've been a fan for as long as I've been alive. But let me tell you something. That man deserves to go out his own way. And he reluctantly, but without hesitation, agreed. Like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So It may be mediocre for the next couple of seasons if that's his MO, but for what he's done for this organization, his franchise, he deserved to go out on his own terms, and that's the way it's going to go. And that has been my story ever since. And here it is, Mike Tomlin going out on his own terms. And now that it's over with, now that he's gone, you see all these one-and-done coaches been to the organization 3-4 years and they're out. Every coach, whether they accept it or not, at some point in their career, going to go back and look and study Mike Tomlin and say, this guy, like you said, Jacob, has not had a losing season. And he did it with the worst talent known to a team. After Big Ben was gone, it was it. Big Ben gone, Crazy Man left. He let George Pickens walk for nothing. He tried his hand with with Dumb and Dumber. Hey, no, I'm so sorry. I'm not going to. I'm sorry. God forgive me. But he tried his hand with Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. It didn't work out, you know what I'm saying? And then he went with the old, man, Rodgers, and actually had a better season he had in the years, a 10-7 season, right? There's something about what he does in a film room. There's something what he does with his pen and pad, with X's and O's, that outshines every quarterback in the modern era. Because energy with talent, it's easy to coach talent.
Yeah.
Easy. But nobody has a winning season when you don't have talent. We don't know other than Crazy Man, AJ Brown. I mean, not Brown, but Antonio Brown and Roethlisberger. And then Aaron Rodgers, but not in Pittsburgh. What other talent did they have?
They had what was the little running back they had? Lavonte Bell.
Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell, there it is.
Le'Veon Bell, he had him for a few years.
But it's hit and miss, right? We've only named 4 guys in 10 years. You know what I mean?
Right. So 19 years, we talk about Ben, Le'Veon, Antonio Brown, and Aaron Rodgers.
Cameron Haywood, TJ Watt on that side of the ball.
They've always done a good job on defense, right? I've given them that credit. That has been their thing. Mike Tomlin is a defensive coach. And that's one thing he's always stood 10 toes down. But offensive wise, then the sexy stuff, the one that put butts in the seat, they just ain't have it. But yet he kept having winning seasons. So, he's all Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh has been overlooked. Pittsburgh, nobody cared about Pittsburgh. Nobody was scared of Pittsburgh on their roster. But nonetheless, Mike Tomlin, when these coaches look back, they're going to be like, man, Tomlin, can I at least get 5% of your playbook? Or at least, or the dude can do like seminars, man, just breaking the bankers to do coaching seminars, man. And I gave everybody, coach, you going. We going to get some tickets and we going to go.
Yeah, you got that right.
But, but once again, Mike Tomlin, after 19th season, has stepped down. This is the first time they said that the Pittsburgh Steelers be looking for a head coach since 1969. That is a long time because it's just been one after the other. We don't have 3 in the franchise. That's crazy. So that's a beautiful thing for what the Pittsburgh Steelers have. My wife, Dr. Charmaine Curtis, after 19 seasons as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, will now be looking for another team to root for because she was only there for Mike Tomlin. And now it's funny to see what team she picks up next. I think she has her sight on Houston. So
okay, with
DeMeco Ryan, obviously she's a Cowboy fan. Don't get me wrong, she's a Cowboy fan because that's just what it is. But then she's been eyeing DeMeco Ryan, but I don't think she's sold out on him. She hated the coach in Atlanta went off. She roots for the Bills with me as well. Secretly, she won't say it, but secretly, she says it. But we'll see what team she really jumps on. But I tell you one team she will not jump on is the goddamn Eagles. She will.
Smart lady.
Hate the Eagles. I don't know why. Oh, y'all, that's been our show for today, man. First, before we go, man, Coach G-Way, any final thoughts?
Another fun show. I love talking football. Playoff football is just another next level kind of stuff, and so it'll be good again this week. You got we got the 49ers in Seattle. I got Chicago and the Rams. We got the Texans in New England, and we got the Bills and the Broncos. So man, it's gonna be ridiculous. I mean, it's gonna be so ridiculous. When is the national championship game with Indiana and
Monday?
Okay.
Who you think gonna win?
I mean, I don't see anybody beating Indiana, but Miami's
Do
rolling.
you?
Oh my God, that's fanning out right there because he don't believe that.
Hey, Fairweather fan, I'm a root for my team. I think I listen. He's had Mendoza's had a phenomenal year. But they had a nice schedule for him to play, and he's turned it on in the playoffs. And all credit to him, deserved a Heisman. But he's finna have 11 athletes on the field against him this time. And if he does it again, he needs to be the number one pick. But I don't think he's going to do it again, and he shouldn't be the number one pick.
All right, J-Dub, while you got the mic, what's your final thoughts?
Well, so I had a day today. It was a long day, and usually during Tuesday is when I find something obscure to talk about and give my final thoughts over. It's just good football right now. The only thing I saw that I'm loving as I'm watching more basketball, man, I love the chippiness that Wembanyama is causing. I like that he doesn't back down, but my boy Anthony Edwards, who's my favorite player right now, he doesn't back down either. So I love the fact that these young future superstars and possible Hall of Famers are not hating each other, but let's get back to rivalry. I don't like you when we're inside these lines. I ain't dapping you up. I'm not coming to help you off the floor. When I take my jersey off and we see each other in the hallway, it's a different story. But while we're jerseyed up, me and you are enemies, and I'm seeing more of that in the NBA. The officiating is getting worse every year. The fact that nobody knows what a travel is. I think I saw Grayson Allen take 6 steps. He did a set, and before he got all the way set, he walked through and took 2 more. And I was like, man, what is that even? I don't even understand the rules of what traveling means anymore.
Right.
So if you can, start trying to catch a basketball game or two, so y'all can be mad at the officiating with me. I just wish we would fix all the bad calls, and I think the game is coming back because the athletes are coming back. The attitude is coming back.
And speaking of big Victor Wembanyama, man, when you look at a cat of his stature, we have in our brain and our vision what strong look like. Big muscles, the chest that goes up and down, you know what I'm saying? Oil lavering down where you blind people in the spotlight. But that is a strong cat. He is a very frail individual, but the amount of strength that he has, and this is what the players are talking about, that what makes him so tough, right? He is just a strong individual at his side. We're talking about when you look at him, I compare him to a Wilt Chamberlain, even though Wilt Chamberlain had him by a couple of pounds. But when you look at Wilt Chamberlain, he was a very slim frame guy as well. But you're talking about being able to outbench Arnold Schwarzenegger, being able to lift up a car so people can change a tire. You know what I'm saying? Being an Olympian, you know what I'm saying? That's just crazy strength. And I think Victor Wembanyama he's on that. He's at that level that we can start comparing him to a Wilt Chamberlain.
And and I agree with everything you just said. And more importantly, he doesn't have to be big. He's not Shaq. He's not Ben Wallace. He's not David Robinson. He's got jump shots. He's got 3-pointers. He's got a bag. How many 7-footers can we say have a bag when they have the ball in their hand? If anybody hadn't seen him bring the ball up full court, then you're missing out on something that is the most beautiful, awkward thing you've ever seen.
Right. And it's not like, and much love to Giannis, because Giannis, thing. He's the Greek freak. He was a specimen at the time. He was the alien first, right? But the Greek freak get it on just long strides and just being bigger than everybody, right? He don't have to have a dribbling package. He don't have to have a package. He just get downfield pretty fast and he can go from half court to the rim in 3 steps, right? And Victor can do it too, but Victor got handles. Victor can stand you up and then sauce you up, then get to the basket. We seen him do it so many times. So he's definitely a freak. I just wish Joker had them handles, but he's a different special player in his own right. So they all find ways to win.
Don't tell Joker he doesn't have those handles.
Hey, he won't turn the ball over. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
I don't think he has enough emotion to even care what you say about him.
Exactly.
Only emotion he got is win or whoop. You know what? Because he will fight. With no
listen. Now, if y'all start talking bad about his horses, he's gonna come out swinging.
Oh man, without a doubt, man. My final thoughts are simple as this: going back to what Coach said and what J-Dub said about the college football game. If the U win this game, it would hurt for a little bit, but then I'll finally get over it and I'll become a University of Miami fan. I'll be throwing up to you.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
For two reasons. A team that didn't win their division makes the playoffs, right? That's crazy. And to beat up on all the SEC, Big 10, and Big 12 teams, that's all we want. Like, you done went through the Big 12, the SEC, the ACC, now the Big 10. I mean, the SEC, now the Big 10. That's what we want. Like, that's what we want to see, man. And I would love that. That means, because you talking about the lesser. You talking about the lesser. ACC has been the lesser along with the Big 12, but I believe Big 12s are better than what everybody give them credit for. But, I mean, only one team that made it, and they didn't even win a division.
Yeah.
That says a lot about this whole college ranking nonsense. Somebody's leaving the final question. Who is this? Z-Man said the first time the top 5 players in NBA are international players. Facts. Y'all know who they are. Thank you, Kenneth, for being a new subscriber. We appreciate it, brother.
Yeah,
yes,
awesome.
Sir. He's a culture builder. Yes, sir. He's talking about Mike Tomlin. So we're talking about Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, India, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Victor Wembanyama is our top 5 international players, hands down. They're the bomb.com. Ain't nobody better than them, so it's what it is. Oh, y'all, that's been our show for today, man. For all you guys who've been watching, man. For Kenneth, thank you for that subscription, man. We really, really appreciate you. Big Daddy, our boy Sean, what's going on? Bob, Robert Davidsky, our resident Packer fan. He's going to enjoy Cancun. We appreciate that with those guys over there. Z-Man for joining us, man. Brandon Marshall, thank you, our resident Bears fan. And then also with Bleed Red and Gold, who came for a moment, and Andrew Jason, don't know who he is, but man, we come on. He asked a question. We come on every Tuesday, 6 p.m. So please join us next time if you're still on Andrew Jason. For myself, for FairWeather fan, to you guys, Louis Medford, thank you for joining in as well. Hey, like we always say, like, subscribe, share, leave comments because we want you to join this conversation. And until next week, we are out.